Hey everyone, so this is yet another clickable video. So each and every clip that comes up, you can just click it and you will be taken directly to the video. So the big thing in media these days is Iran. And I haven't made a video about Iran before today, but I'm going to be covering a lot of the topics and you're going to be seeing a lot of clips from media. Because if you go back in time, you will probably remember that the same tactics was used prior to the war in Afghanistan and Iraq.
His message to the crowd that Iranian scientists had revved up Iran's nuclear program and managed to produce a batch of extra enriched uranium.
There is no secret that the Western media loves the Green Revolution.
Now to the unrest gripping Iran, we are seeing some incredibly dramatic video. Just take a look at this one.
And at the same time painting a really dark picture of the Iranian government. But why is it that we don't see any news coverage of the protests already taking place in the US? Why is it only focused on the Green Revolution? Israel has consistently voiced its determination to stop Iran's nuclear program, even through military operations. Israel, which is believed to be the only possessor of nuclear weapons in the Middle East. This clip is merely for observational reasons, so you can see the rhetorics the media use in order to get you more open for a US invasion to free the Iranian people. At the same time, Israel is preparing a massive strike against Iran.
And new details are emerging about the Air Force drill they recently conducted designed to send a message to Tehran.
And then a week ago, we could see a US-Israeli joint exercise take place off the coast of Israel, which involved IDF and the US Navy's 6th Fleet. As part of this buildup, the US have more than doubled its stockpile of weapons in Israel, which they claim Israel can use. Israeli Strategic Affairs Minister Yaalon says that Israel might use force to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons, a claim Iran rejects. Iran will probably be stopped by a regime change, or if no other choice, by force, to deprive Iran of its nuclear arms production capabilities.
You say the window for diplomatic action is closing. How much time is there?
Less today than we had yesterday.
Meanwhile, the IAEA,
Well, the UN nuclear watchdog's incoming chief, Yukio Amano, sees no evidence on Iran seeking nuclear weapons.
have clarified that all past nuclear programs in Iran have been peaceful. And something the media went up in arms about last week was that Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has tasked the country's atomic chief with enriching uranium to 20% in order to meet the demands of the country's cancer patients. Israel already have more than 200 nuclear weapons, but keeps pointing fingers at Iran's nuclear programs, which Iran claims is peaceful and which it seemed to be conducted in full compliance by the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, a treaty Israel has refused to sign for over 40 years. However, Israel's nuclear capability has never been put to inspection. They have 2 nuclear research centers in Dimona and Sorek. Latest estimates suggest that Israel has produced more than 118 nuclear warheads. The Jericho ballistic missiles are capable of carrying such weapons. The Jericho-1, which is now obsolete, had a range of 500 kilometers and could carry a 20 kilotons nuclear warhead, which is 20 times more powerful than the US bomb dropped on Hiroshima in 1945. The Jericho-2 has a range of 1,500 kilometers and could reach all the way to Iran, and is believed to carry a 1 megaton nuclear bomb, which is 1,000 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. And it is thought that a Jericho-3 is being developed, able to travel 5,000 kilometers, bringing all of Iran and Europe to its range. And lately, we've also heard the statement President Ahmadinejad made about wiping Israel off the map.
Israel might be wiped off the map.
And he stands up, he says Israel should be wiped off the map.
Wiped off the map.
Eliminate Israel from the face of the earth.
Wiped off the map.
Wipe Israel off the map.
What he said was taken completely out of context. What was said, translated correctly, was, this regime occupying Jerusalem must vanish from the page of time, end quote. But such a statement wouldn't have been entirely wrong. Whilst Israel and the US are on war footing, they might also be carrying out strikes against Gaza, Syria, and Lebanon during 2010. And as with all conflicts, the whole purpose is to divide and conquer. And Israel is in the middle of a very unstable area. Should they choose to carry out such actions, this could very well mean the end of Israel. US lawmakers on Thursday introduced legislation aimed at helping efforts to oppose and remove the current Iranian government. A bill crafted by Republican Senators John Cornyn and Sam Brownback would authorize the flow of non-military aid to Iranian protesters, as well as humanitarian aid to what is described as victims of the current regime. The people of Iran is clearly hungry for freedom, and America has a duty to stand behind them and support their cause, said Senator Cornyn. The legislation includes a non-binding statement that would compel Washington to back Iranian efforts to change their government.
The CIA has received secret presidential approval to mount what is known as a black or covert operation to destabilize the Iranian regime.
And then I want to say this. Personally, when it comes to the Green Revolution, I am in no doubt that the Iranian protesters are doing so in the belief that they are going to change Iran for the better. But what must be remembered is that this revolution has turned into media tactics to make sure the Western society sees the Iranian government as something bad, something evil that needs to be changed, and can only change with Western interference.
The BBC and the Voice of America radio station have been harshly criticized by Iranian officials who accuse the broadcasters of fueling violence after the disputed re-election of President Ahmadinejad.
We must not forget how the Western media portrayed both Taliban and Saddam Hussein in order to make people believe that the reason for entering was to save the people of these countries. In effect, what they have done is they have entered these countries and killed millions of civilians. We must not forget how the media claimed that both Afghanistan and Iraq had weapons of mass destruction.
And Bush officials says that analysts say
Pentagon officials tell us, according to U.S. intelligence,
U.S. officials say that U.S. officials here say, these officials here at the White House tell us.
The White House says it can prove that Saddam Hussein does have weapons of mass destruction, claiming it has solid evidence.
No such weapons was ever found. And with all of this being said, I want to end this vlog by recommending a BBC documentary called The Power of Nightmares, which I found to be a very important documentary for everyone to see. Absolutely everyone should see this documentary. It's about radical Islamists and the neocons, and maybe they have more in common than you think. Peace out, everyone.